Hey guys, and welcome to another There's a new tank in the store in a horrible way because crates, but here's another video to show you what it's like video. So today we will be talking about the Lansen C, or the Lansen Moose that it's called with the legendary camo. And I have to say, I'm a big fan of the camo. I'm a big fan of Sweden, all in all, so that definitely helps. Two of my sisters live there, but that's like a whole other story that I will bore you with another time. Let's talk about the tank itself, shall we? Basically, I've been comparing it to other mats for its tier, and it feels balanced. It feels average. The DPM is 1820, the pen is 202, the alpha is 320, the rate of fire is 5.69, which means that it has a reload of 10.55 seconds. The caliber is 105, and the shell velocity is 930. And basically, like the gun, it always feels like the turret turns a little bit slowly, so that doesn't help much either. Overall, it feels like fairly balanced with the damage that you do and the weight that you have, but the DPM is a bit low compared to other mats, so yeah, that kind of works against you. And all in all, you do not have the mobility or the armor to handle loads here. And the thing that this tank mainly showed me is that this tank needs friends. It doesn't mean that you always have to have a teammate, but you need to have like a teammate that watches a bit of your back, because you will be hard pressed to handle things all on your own with the DPM that you've got and the armor that you've got, or pretty much the lack thereof. So there is that too. The aim time is 1.53 seconds, the dispersion is 0.326. The dispersion while on the move or rotating turret and everything is 0.18 or 0.08. The gun depression is 10 degrees, the gun elevation is 20 degrees, and the aiming arc is of course 180 degrees. It can go 55 km per hour forward, 18 km per hour backward, and it has an engine power of 460. Now all in all, it sounds more mobile than that it feels like, to be honest. And not like that it's horribly not mobile, it's not like that. But it's just, all in all, it's just, eh. And that's kind of what I struggled with this tank. Like, the battles that I'm showing you today are very much mediocre. And for me, that's kind of like what this tank is like itself. It's not a bad tank, but it's not a great tank. It's not, like, horrible, it's not amazing. It kind of go every which way, because it's just, it's a bit, it's balanced, don't get me wrong, it's balanced. But that also means that there's very little where you will be like, oh, that is why I want this tank. And obviously it's going to suit me very well. It's not really like that. I'm lucky that that shot hit, because basically when you turn, the turret turns back slowly. So that kind of is the point that I struggled with this tank mostly. Again, doesn't mean I did necessarily bad, I just didn't get any aces, and it's just not like a very epic tank, not in that way in any case. Anyhow, the camo rating is 30% while standing still, 22% while moving, and after shooting it is 6% while standing still or 4% while moving. It has a view range of 260, an HP of 1300, and it weighs 23.63 tons. Now, the turret armor is 70 on the front and on the side, and it is 40 in the back. And the hull armor is 80 in the front, 37 on the side, and 25 on the back. So that's basically the stats of the tank according to Blitz. But yeah, like I said, the tank, it feels very balanced, and that's, of course, it's great. I mean, I'm glad that Wargaming isn't releasing another broken tank, because I think we've got quite enough of those. But yeah, there's little about this tank where I'm like, yeah, this is going to be so much fun to drive. This is why you should gamble for it. Of course, I'm never going to tell anyone to gamble for anything, because gambling is bad and crates are bad, okay? Like, the drop rate is always very, very low, and when Wargaming has been releasing new tanks in crates since a very long time now, so I kind of like assume that any tank that will come into the game, unless it's through an event, will come into the event in crates. And you have to keep in mind that the drop rate is generally like 4% or something, which is like very low. It means that per crate there's a 96% that you will not get what you want. And that doesn't mean that you have no chance, but the more crates that you buy, the chance doesn't increase. The probability of hitting that 4% increases, but the chances of you actually getting this tank, it will always be 4%. But yeah, Overall though, to focus back on the tank, I was a bit lost in, not entirely certain of what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot that guy, but I wanted to avoid getting shot at more. The tank is fine. It's like, it's a tier 8, it's a Swedish tier 8, and I like the camo and all of that together, but the way that it performs, it's balanced. It's not particularly mobile, the reload isn't particularly good, the DPM isn't particularly epic. It's a bit of an all-rounder that way, it's got a bit of everything. It does drive fairly smoothly though, so that's something that I did like. The dispersion feels big and the reload feels long for the damage that you do and all. And I think that this is one of those tanks where if you have a friend and you're tuning, then this could be a lovely tank. Because then you can work it together with whatever your teammate is driving. Because the thing is, both these games that I'm showing you, I had a good team. And it doesn't mean that they're absolutely not potatoes or anything, but overall they did good and they helped me. And that is, I feel, very important with this tank. Because on its own, most of the tanks you meet will be a lot stronger or a lot more mobile or out DPM you. And that's something to keep in mind as well. So yeah, all in all, tank is pretty balanced. It is, like I said, probably coming in crates, so crates are bad, okay? Don't gamble your whole wallet away, especially not for a tank like this. I probably might try the little gamble, but overall I'm not going to spend a lot of money on this. I will wait for it to come back with for gold later on. Even though that might take a while before it actually comes. It kind of means like this tank isn't fancy enough for me to try it, to get it now or spend loads of money. I don't like it that much. I like the look of it though, and that's something that I'll stick with. And it's fine, you know? I played like 10 battles in this tank, and these are basically the games that I went for. Not because they stood out in any way, because they didn't really. All of the games were similar to this basically. The tank is mediocre, it's balanced, it performs nicely, but it's not special. And that's exactly why I chose these games. Could have chosen any one of the 10, to be honest, because the results kept being similar. So that's basically how this tank performs. It's average, it's balanced, it performs nicely, it looks nice, I like the moose on it, but that's about where the specialness ends. So yeah, crates are bad, gambling is bad, don't spend your whole life savings trying to get this tank, please. That's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time again. Bye bye!